Second thing I want to tell you guys is I am officially right now not able to see the chat. I'm going to have this as a conversation, sort of like nobody's here. I kind of want to just have this conversation and talk this through. Obviously, I will be reading the chat afterwards, but this is a announcement. This is a me talking to you for a little while, and at the conclusion of that, then we can open back up chat and I can check everything out. So, first things first, this is not a final decision. This is a discussion. I'm going to talk to you guys, but what I'm really hoping is that I can discuss everything with you after I kind of give my speech, and you guys can help me work out my decision a little bit. I'm close to making the decision, but I'm not quite there. Second thing I really want to ask for you guys is to please be a little bit level-headed about this. As I've kind of given the announcement already, I've been like telling you guys like, hey, it's not going to be perceived as a good thing in most people's eyes. It's probably going to be seen as a negative. So don't be expecting good news, but please just stay level-headed. Please, before you jump to conclusions, hear me out all the way, and then we can have hopefully a healthy conversation. Now, let's just get it out of the way. I'll tell you right away what it is that we're talking about. And this is going to be the hardest thing I think I've ever done on stream. So I'll try not to get emotional, but excuse me if I do. I am definitely close to, and very much so, considering taking an extended break from streaming and from gaming. Which might be a shock to some of you, but also to many probably is like you've seen this coming a little bit. To rewind, and I mean, there's so much that goes into this. This was not and again, I haven't made the decision, but this is not something that I came to overnight. This is something that I've been thinking about since back in January. I've been tossing this idea around in my head since January. I've been contemplating it since all the way back then. But today is finally the day I'm going to bring the idea forward with you guys and tell you that I'm close to making that decision. If it were to be an extended break, if I were to do this, it would be till like September. I'd come back for Destiny Year 3. It would just be 3 or so months. It wouldn't be a permanent thing. It wouldn't be a goodbye forever. It'd be a see you soon kind of thing if I end up doing this. But let's go over all of the reasons why. And again, I can't see chat. I'm just talking. Let's go over all the reasons why this might be something I do and why this is something I'm considering. So let's rewind to when I first started streaming. When I first picked up streaming, it was just a hobby. And it was because I was so in love with Destiny. I mean, all I wanted to do all day, every day, was play Destiny 1. That was it. I loved it. So I picked it up as a hobby just for fun because I was so in love with gaming, it made sense. As time went on, it kind of developed from a hobby purely to, oh my God, it's kind of like a part-time job, to holy crap, this is kind of a full-time job, to like, okay, this is a career. And what I want to make clear is I'm super thankful and super appreciative for that. So appreciative and so thankful. But what also happened as a result of that is it went from being a voluntary thing to a required thing. You know, instead of I'm going to stream because I really want to, it turned into I'm going to stream because I have to. That's how I make my living. It's something I have to do. And that's not inherently a bad thing. People have to make a living. People have jobs. It's not bad to have to make a living. Of course it's not. But it gets a little bit tricky with content creation. And the reason it does is because my job is basically to provide entertainment for you guys. And we'll get more into it. But if I am not entertained by games myself, then I feel like I do a worse job at entertaining you guys. And even more importantly, I almost feel like I'm being fake and false. If I'm not liking a game, and I'm playing it and, you know, trying to have fun and like trying to be energetic and like get the chat hyped, it feels super false, there's a word I'm missing, but basically like it's not real, you know? It's me trying to get you guys to come to my channel to support my income almost, which is a terrifying thought because streaming has always been, I want to stream because a game is a ton of fun and I'm having fun hanging out with my community. But over the past few years, that has gotten a little bit yikes. At the very beginning, when I started streaming, I was in love with Destiny. When Destiny 2 came out, things started to go a little bit downhill, like whatever, it is what it is. But come like January, when they said Trials is not coming back, and they said Trials is not coming back, they said, that's all they said. What am I thinking? Sorry, tangenting. A lot going on in my mind right now. I basically was like, okay, well, what the fuck am I playing Destiny for anymore? And there was no Apex Legends at this point. I was over Fortnite. And that's when it first happened, where I was like, I don't want to play games. But my job is to play games. What do? And that's when I first really started contemplating it. Some of you might be like, just fucking push through it. Like, don't be a bitch. Your job is to play games for a living. Why are you complaining? And like, yeah, of course. This is why I'm having a conversation with you guys. I could just push through it. I could just say, fuck it. I'll play games and just say whatever. But between Apex being stale, Fortnite being old and not really exciting for me anymore, Destiny 2 being boring as holy tits in my opinion without trials, I don't have any desire to turn on my Xbox. I don't have any desire to turn on my PC. If it weren't for you guys, and I want you to understand this, if it weren't for you guys, I would have stopped streaming a long time ago. 4 months ago in January, like I said, when I sort of was like, I don't have any interest in gaming. My only interest in streaming is you guys. I have a blast hanging out with my community. I think it's a ton of fun. But without having anything to actually play, it just feels super, what's the word? We're insincere. It feels insincere. That's the word I'm looking for. It feels false. It feels messed up in a way. And there's more going into this decision that I might make than just the games being stale. And we'll get into that in a second. But I want you guys to understand that that is the main thing. The next section I'm going to get into is sort of my mental health and what is going on there and how that has led to this potential decision. But that's the main thing, guys. Streaming should be fun as hell because the games that we are streaming are entertaining and enjoyable for me, the streamer. If we are streaming games that bore me and frustrate me just to make my 40 or 50 hours a week, we are not doing our job. We are not doing our job for the right reason. It's just not a good situation. And again, I'll get more into it, but that's kind of the intro for where this decision is coming from. Potential decision. I'm close to making it, but I'm not quite there. So now I'm going to get a little bit more transparent than most content creators are probably willing to get and talk a little bit about my mental health and what is going on there and how this has sort of led to this potential decision. So again, I'm not complaining, and I really want everybody to get that. This talk, this discussion, this speech, it's not a complaint. It's just me being open and sincere with you guys. I want you to hear everything that's going on from my side of things. No lies, nothing fake, just straight truth. This is what's happening, and it's not me looking for sympathy, and it's not me complaining. It's just, here's who I am, and here's what's going on. Nothing hidden. So back to what I was saying with whole, gaming and whatnot from the beginning. When I first was streaming, my stream and channel were doing this, and it was the most exciting thing ever. My channel was blowing up. I was having a blast playing Destiny 1, having a blast meeting a ton of people, having a blast seeing my channel grow. Awesome. All right, November 2016. This is over 2.5 years ago. November 2016. What's the deal? Why does this month matter? That is the month that this turned to this. I'm talking view counts and stuff like that regarding the channel. Now, not a huge deal, right? Sure, numbers are going down a little bit. At this point in time, the reason the numbers were going down in my eyes were because Destiny 1, well, it was year 3. People were sort of starting to get over it, and they were kind of just waiting for D2. So November through September that year, well, 2017 at that point, but anyway, numbers were doing this because people were waiting for D2, and I totally was accepting that. It was fine. D2 comes out. Oh God, it's terrible. Numbers continue to do this. And what also happened when D2 launched? This is a big deal. This is important. When D2 launched, our community that was once like this, because Destiny 1 was a huge, solid community of only Xbox and PS4, but either way, they played the same, they looked the same console. Destiny 1 was a really tight-knit community of people that enjoyed the game on console, right? D2 comes out. Well, that community splits into two. Because PC was a different game. It plays differently, looks differently. If you play on PC, you're not going to want to watch people on console. If you play on console, you're not going to want to watch people on PC. So the community got split. But because the game was so bad at launch, it got split way more than that. People stopped gaming and split this way. Some people started playing different games and went this way. Everybody started splitting in their own different directions. So basically, and they've continued to more and more month by month as more games come out, as more people stop gaming in general. I know a ton of you who are in the chat right now don't even play video games anymore. I can think of a few off the top of my mind just right away. You don't even play games anymore, but you still come to the stream to support me and to hang out with the people in the Jungle Squad. And that is awesome. But my point is, this community that was once like this is now literally fucking everywhere. So, D2 launches. That begins happening. I go try to play Fortnite. Can't ever really get my foot in the door as much as I thought I might. Still continue to do this, right? D2 year 2 comes out. And we might have experienced this for a second, but they didn't have trials out, and they quickly announced the trials wouldn't be coming out, and this kept happening again. It's been 2.5 years. Let me show you something real quick. I'm going to show you, this graph you're about to see is average view count per month. Alrighty? Where the hell is monitor cap? I can't find this fucking scene. There it is. This is from November 2000, sorry, January actually. November was up here. Just know that. This is basically showing a downward slant for 2.5 years, right? Which, I'm going to be honest with you, fucks with someone's head. This was my wedding and also the month the trials went away in D1, so it was kind of a weird outlier, but you can get the point. It is a negative downhill for 2.5 fucking years. Now, not like that big of a deal, right? Get the fuck over it, streamer. Who cares? But it's just, again, I'm just being transparent. It's weighed on me a ton to the point that it's really affected my life outside of streaming. To have something I care this much about, to the extent where I'm coming up with Destiny, Fortnite, Apex tournaments to utilize carrots to allow people to have something new and exciting to look forward to. Doing things like Claim the Throne in Apex. Like, I'm coming up with idea after idea after idea, just trying to find a new way that will bring excitement and hype back to the channel. I'm thinking, hey, this might work. And just time and time and time and time again, it does not work. And 2.5 years of this has been brutal. It's gotten to the point, and it's been like this for a while now, where, when I end my streams and I want to go hang out with Kelsey, hang out with my wife, it's negatively impacting her. It's negatively impacting her life too. Fuck. I'm going to try to not have this happen. So give me a second. Okay, I'm going to try to just tough this out. I'm not who I used to be off stream. Okay? When I am streaming 10 hours a day, trying my hardest to be entertaining when I am not entertained myself, trying my hardest to make a fun stream for everybody, when I am so beaten down by the trends I'm seeing and by the games not being exciting, it takes a fuck ton of energy from me. And it leaves me to the point where when I end my stream, I am sad, I am tired, and just not interested in things. So I don't get to be myself outside of streaming. Again, I'm not trying to complain. I want to go back to that point. This is not in an attempt to complain, to look for sympathy. I'm not doing those things. I'm just trying to be as open and honest with you as I can and kind of show you some of the behind the scenes you might not know are happening. It takes a lot when the games suck to be really happy, excited. 10-hour streams when I love a game go by in what feels like 3 hours. 10-hour streams when I'm not having fun feel like 20 hours. Again, that's the main focus, is the games and my love of games. The mental battles I've been having and the downward trends is just a little thing on top. Let me make this point for you guys. If I had a game that I was thoroughly obsessed with, the numbers would barely impact me, because I would just be so happy to be playing a game I loved and have those, I don't know how many are watching because I'm blocking the chat and the view count and stuff, but the people in my community who have been here, no matter what game I'm playing and no matter how many people are watching, the people I care about who have been here through all of that would probably still be there, and I'd be playing a game I loved. I wouldn't care about the negative downward trends. At least wouldn't care nearly as much. It would barely matter to me. The core of streaming and what matters to me is I need a game that I really love and enjoy grinding. And without that, it's rough. And when you add the negative downward trends to it, it's almost unbearable. And that's where we are today. Again, haven't made the decision yet. I'm not necessarily taking this break, but I'm close to deciding to do it for all the reasons that I've listed. And there's probably more that I have forgotten to mention. I'm doing this without a script. I'm just talking to you guys for 15 minutes now. I'm just going. I'm just kind of explaining everything. There's probably some things I've missed, but that's the gist. And part of why I'm bringing this to you guys as this is not a final decision yet, is I want to understand what this what this is like from your perspective. And I don't have chat open yet, so please don't start explaining it yet. But if it weren't for you, like I already said, I would have stopped streaming so long ago. If it weren't for the actual personal connections that I've made, if it wasn't for me actually caring about the individuals who watch my stream, it means so much to me that hundreds of people have worked my stream into a daily routine of theirs. That is amazing. The fact that hundreds of people on a daily basis plan their day around finding a time to come into my stream, that means the world to me. And the fact that like this decision, if it were to be made, would impact you guys more than anybody else is absolutely devastating to me, and is the reason that I haven't just done it. It's that right there, what I just explained. Thank God for the summer skirmish and some of the generosity of you guys. I can actually do a 3 or 4 month break and not be screwed. I have some savings, and also thank God for me being good with money. I have savings due to your generosity and summer skirmish. I could do this for 3 or 4 months. The money's not the concern. It's you guys that's the concern. I'm scared of you guys feeling betrayed. I don't want there to be people who are like, why did I support this guy for 3 years? Why have I been building my sub streak? Why have I been building my bit badge? Why have I been here farming carrots if he's just gonna say fuck this and leave? I'm not saying that. And if I do this, it will be for just a temporary amount of time. It will not be permanent. But the message I really think needs to be clear here is, while I continue to grind games that I find boring, while I continue to take this extremely taxing toll on my body and my mental well-being, the odds of me ever finding streaming and gaming as a super fun and exciting thing again get worse and worse and worse by the day. In other words, as almost a way to invest in the future of this stream, I think that this 3 or 4 month break could be really crucial. If I take a 3 or 4 month break, there's a very good chance that when I come back, I'll be super excited to both stream again, say hi to everybody again, be a part of the community again, but also to play games again. I'm sure after 3 or 4 months, I'm going to miss them and be excited, be sort of re-amped, re-energized, excited for that again. The longer I do this, the less likely that could ever happen. The longer I grind when I'm struggling, the less likely that can happen. So instead of looking at it as like, shit, I wasted 3 years supporting this guy when he's just going to go ahead and take a long ass break, what the fuck? Look at it as, yeah, you have been supporting that. And thank God you have, because I wouldn't be here today if you hadn't. And I want to protect those investments you've made, both time, both financial, whatever it might be. I want to protect those investments you've made and make sure that this stream has a long future. And this might be the way to make sure that that happens. All right. It's been 18 minutes. I got emotional at one point. I think I've said everything I needed to say. I'm going to minimize the giant window that's blocking my chat right now. I will, not yet, actually. Let me go ahead and do a couple things. We're going to throw back on the green screen effect when I find it. And we're going to go hang out on a beach because it's more relaxing. Although it says no signal, and that's ugly. We'll make that go away. And we'll play some music. All right, guys, I want to have a conversation. Thanks for hearing me out. I'm ready to read the chat. The chat's literally only love.